They look like the just absolute best team. We'll see.
Have another setup for a spicy match. Relatively way LGD throughout this tournament. Whoa, but saw how these types of series get out in Singapore first mean anything. Let's pass it over to our casters.
Prepare for battle.
4 out of 5 of the series that Evil Geniuses have played in their lower bracket run have gone the distance. 2-1, the only 2-0 they actually got was up against Nigma. So, Evil Geniuses, they've certainly shown that they know how to be able to bounce back from a loss. In fact, that was something that I really loved to hear about from Curtis, and he was talking about how these players, every single one of them, they say, this is the best team I've ever played on. He says that's usually a sign of having good mentality in the team.
I would agree, but I'm a bit concerned for their body language. I mean, EG, they're typically more subdued, you know, not often smiling in the pre-match, but definitely a little shaken after that last loss. I think their draft is a bit better here. Abed's Storm, hero he played almost well enough to win the previous major final. PSG.LGD, overwhelming amount of team fight. Crit has walked up high ground.
And very likely it's going to be giving away the first blood. Oh, he tried to find the opening, but no! I cannot believe that angle got blocked. I thought for sure he was going to be able to roll away there, but nope. First blood going to be given to none other than Ame.
Of all the people to give it to.
Yep, and Ame Terrorblade at that, Kyle.
Yeah, we had discussed thinking Axe might be banned, but EG took it away immediately with the first 2 Viper. I think primarily out of fear of that Axe, the Nether Toxin disabling spin, so, you know, end of the day, you're not picking Axe into a Viper. Also, definitely a hero that could bully him out of the lane if they were to give it to Ame on the 1 position.
I think Fly actually started off trying to body block a little bit, but yeah, that's going to be LGD starting off with not just the first blood on Ame, but 3 bounty runes as well. So, Evil Genius is going to have to do pretty well in the lanes. Start things off to be able to offset a small little advantage for LGD. So what is our lanes? I saw they're going to go for the Brewmaster. Oh, top lane. Ice, Ice, Ice being pressured nice and early by the tri-lane of PSG.LGD. Second kill for LGD.
They've always been so good at that. Historically, whenever Ame's on the team, they give him the last hit. And you saw there, it was even covered. If that hadn't finished it, they would have picked up the Shaman, so it wasn't like there was a risk of Ice escaping. And I like this move. They start with the tri-lane. Not really much. I think Ench could probably do some damage down bottom, but not at level 1. That's the thing.
Sure. I mean, much better, much more important to be able to keep the Viper shut down against a Terrorblade than to make sure that your Brewmaster is having a perfectly A-OK time.
This is how you used to beat offlane Viper. They hear, oh, hang on.
Nice roll-in kickback. Doesn't quite hit the Remnant combo, but they still have the kill. That one's going to go to Crit.
Look at the lane. 2-0, 9 and 3 on Abed. And he's getting a full wave deny under tower.
Warriors of the wood.
That's crazy.
I think Abed's a little mad. And he's got a lot of reason to be mad. In fact, the reason for him to be mad at LGD dates all the way back to TI8. And 2 of these players, Jinkyu as well as PYW, first showed up on the international stage for Team Serenity. They managed to go through group stage, ended up in the lower bracket. They played that best of 1 stage. You know who they played against, Kyle?
Fnatic?
Fnatic, that's right, Fnatic. Lost that best of 1 against Team Serenity, and that Fnatic had Abed on it.
He's come a long way since then. Oh, that roster was star-studded, but never really got the results that this EG lineup has been able to accumulate during 2020 and 2021. So far, so good for EG. In a good spot in all 3 lanes. But the trouble with offlane Viper has always been what happens if you just get owned in the laning phase. You're a lane dominator, and yeah, you can always go recover the jungle, but that's not ideal. Roll through won't land. Great gank from Crit, though. I think for him, well, for his team, it's going to be Crit on the Earth, which is going to have to step up. They want to W Name.
What? Okay, not only is he, I'm dead, like he's dead, but now he has to walk back to lane because of that very, very awkward TP play.
Yeah, it was I mean, he spent his gold, I believe, before he died, so that's something.
I mean,
but yeah,
there goes your first blood advantage.
He could have just TP'd on the roll, you know, like it would have been fine, but
yeah.
You know, just not really respecting the dive. But that's the power of Viper. He hits level 3, and suddenly TB left alone is in big trouble. Surprised that PSG.LGD didn't think about just keeping a tri-lane. AA, a strong support, but it's not as if he'd be able to stop Faith Beyond alone from just pulling creep waves.
Which is what he's doing right now.
This is the sort of lane Nature's Prophet thrives in. You don't really mind the enemy offlaner, and they can't really kill treants. So you see him just zoning out the Shadow Shaman, basically with just his AA and treants. So very nice for EG so far. Ahead in, I would say, all 3 lanes. Looking at specifically mid, Abed is going off.
So I thought game 1 was really interesting because one of the things that Evil Geniuses has done very nicely this event is be able to have this like super aggressive, like the safe lane Furion. It feels like 3 aggressive cores, 3 semi-core sort of lineups and run at you, take over lanes and such, like they did at the Singapore Major. And they've also managed to fall back on the harder carry. And I thought game 1, I felt like that concept, that first one, got countered so hard that they were just going to back up and go for the hard carry again. But it seems like Evil Geniuses still have faith in this sort of 3 semi-carry sort of lineup.
Yeah, and I like it a lot more in this game because I think the support duo has just been straight up upgraded. Earth Spirit, better than Clock, and I think it's necessary to have their catch hero on crit, and I'd rather have an AA than a Lion. I know Lion, incredibly high priority, but this hero just seems bonkers, and really, well, I'm making another TP to the tier 1, but this time in time. PSG.LGD, they took Death Prophet into AA. I consider AA a pretty damn hard counter because you remove drains. We've discussed it throughout the group stage, but drains feel like the real ultimate on Death Prophet. It's what give her that unkillable strength within a fight, and AA ult just removes that. And suddenly EG, they have so much catch from such a far range. You know, maybe Viper is just sitting there in the lane, crit in the trees, he can roll in no problem. RTZ TP's in, Storm zips in. A blast. You have 4 heroes damage output, but they only represent 1 threat.
Crit and Ice have no heroes to kill, so they go ahead and gank the big Eagle Song creep. Faith Beyond body blocked in. RTZ, he's shown the body blocking skills before in this tournament, most notably that Terrorblade illusion play that he had, and does so again against Faith Beyond's Brewmaster. Jin-Q, though, setting up. You can see the ward behind the tier 1 tower here. Looks to be able to see a hero rotating in, and with this exorcism and with his disables, get a kill off of it. They're going to be able to find it, though. They're going to roll on in now. That's going to be a little bit shy. 3 heroes here. Jin-Q is actually going to be gone on by Abed. Nobody else from the team is going to try and help him out. Not even the Death Prophet. Just ran for the power runes and wasn't even there. They lost the 50-50.
Will Abed, he's going to charge uphill. He would love to steal the bounty as well, but he's going to leave that for his Earth Spirit. Little drive-by scoop. And pull the creep wave too. So this is looking real good for EG. At the moment, it's at least what it's better than last game.
Yep.
It's a good start.
Yep.
And Ice is 6.
Yeah, and he's very likely dead. Nice rotations here from PSG.LGD. They still managed to pick up the kill on Y. Ice will enjoy a bit of the experience for that. Faith Beyond going to be gone on, though, as again, 3 heroes are postured on one side of the map. Both teams have a similar idea here. The laning phase beginning to break down. Let's just provide overwhelming numbers to a certain side.
But this is going much better for EG. They got a tower. You can feel RTZ definitely feels a lot more powerful. Instead of a Sand King who's already level 7, it's a Faith Beyond Brew that's just level 4. And the hero doesn't really have that easy farming mechanic to come back into the game. He's going to look to accelerate through team fights, but needs ultimate to do that. In addition, Abed, I think most comfortable of all heroes available on Storm. And he's off to a great start. He owned his lane. Already level 8, and top net worth in-game.
Tower is under attack.
Now, of course, we heard the stat earlier, thanks to our friend UniMajor, who gave us the stat on which objective first taken has the highest win probability. Jin-Q going to be run down here by the Shadow Shaman. Now, the mid tower is a very frequent go-to, and it's why it is so valuable. But the off-lane tower is another one that usually has a very high win rate as the first objective taken on the map. And it usually means that you won your safe lane so hard that you've got an objective you usually shouldn't be able to do. Or in this case, because you've got a Fury on safe lane.
Yeah, it happens like we saw it in this game, which is just for free. It's like, oh, well, we're owning so hard, the hero's not here, we'll just keep going. And unfortunately for PSG.LGD, they don't have great pickoff. Their support duo is somewhat worthless until the later portions of this game. Terrorblade popping meta just to farm camps, and that's their gank attempt. Jin-Q walking forwards to try and hex shackle onto a storm. Other than that, Arteezy, all the space in the world. He's actually rushing Maelstrom this game before Witchblade.
They're actually going to roll on a Terrorblade with meta out because Abed felt so strong, and they were right. Crit and Abed execute a metamorphosed Terrorblade who thought he could just farm up Ancients.
And he thought wrong. Didn't have Sunder skill, typical Ame, maximizing for his net worth grind. And this time it's EG off to the races, huge lead. They'd love to scoop the mid tower, but they don't need it. Ult popped mid by Nothing to Say. Had a regen running, so he'll still be full HP, but Ice looks like he might want to make a move here.
Yep, they're immediately going to start slowing somebody down. Wasn't sure if it was Nothing to Say or Jin-Q. Ends up being neither, thanks to the silence. Denies the Viper Strike. Still, though, these sort of rotations that are forced when you look at the Nature's Prophet being there, well, he can always relocate to another side of the map, so...
This is such a better Prophet game. The support duo is so frustrated by these creeps constantly scouting and chasing them around. Ice is huge. Prophet, nothing to really fear here. There's no hard initiation on the side of PSG.LGD. No pesky axes or Sand Kings to worry about clearing your creeps. So, just gonna hit tower.
Now, the way I usually like to describe these lineups, Kyle, is if this is a lineup that has to be ahead. Oh, the roll in. Not quite landing, but the silence to follow it up, and that'll easily free up Abed to be able to go for the execution. Nothing to Say. He's going to be underneath the Sprout, plus a Remnant. They do manage to get a stun immediately onto Abed. He's going to jump away thanks to the buyback. Very disciplined from EG, trying to get away and out. Abed with the last bit of mana. They're actually going to turn around on Nothing to Say here with the Ice Blast. Just the supports can kill the mid laner of LGD. Once again, the body blocks from Arteezy, netting another kill, this time onto Y, and Abed still running away. Faith Beyond desperate to be able to pick up this one kill, but it's denied. Vortex back into the roll-in, and Abed says, remember me? Thanks for the killing spree, buddy. Jin-Q chased down underneath a tier 2 even. LGD are being hunted.
And EG, I hear them coming to life behind me. A lot of sound in that last engagement. Excellent team play. Abed surviving. They kill mid-tower, but they just commit.
Oh, Ice, you've overextended this time, surely. Can they not get in range? Do they not? Oh, no. He's going to walk right past everybody. They're trying to go for it, but the Urn is going to heal him up a little bit more. And if they're not careful,
double damage.
They may get gone on by Abed, who now has a double damage rune.
And the quick bottle pass over, too. So Crit gives him a couple free charges. That was a really cool fight. Faith Beyond. He's going to be able to do this throughout these engagements, but he actually dispelled the Cold Feet off of Nothing to Say with his AoE Storm Spirit
nice.
cleanse. He can also do the same to Magnetize, keep in mind. So Carrot has got to be a little cautious in a way. A big AoE Dispel just removes Earth Spirit's ultimate from the game, but the trouble is they're just behind. And Storm, way too strong at the moment, has DD, Kaya. They're looking to make moves.
A big pickup for LGD. Managing to get Arteezy here, but at the same time, they cannot afford to lose Nothing to Say again, but they will anyway. Dominating streak for Abed as smoke. The three-man smoke that they operated early is successful in finding a kill.
Fly also demonstrates why I like AA the most of any of these ranged intelligence support heroes. Ice Vortex. He's already got 3 points in it. He'll look to max it next. Increased magic damage. It'll be 24% when maxed out. But more importantly, especially as Radiant, gives vision in the road.
Logs it in with a roll-in from Crit to lead things off. And Ahmed, they're going to roll away from him. He's looking for the Sundering Dustman to get it off. And Ahmed, he's overcommitted now. He's going to use the last bit of mana to be able to make a jump away here. And PSG.LGD really want to be able to catch somebody with this. They're going to pop the Primal Split. Leading off, Ice, hit by the stun. Tornado onto the Ancient Apparition. This should net them 2 kills.
Nice split from Faith Beyond. And that's the bane of Viper. It doesn't matter what position or what time in the meta. Brewmaster loves to play against Viper. You just chase him down with the pandas and throw him up in the air. Not much you can do about it. But well done by EG to escape with only the 2 losses. Very unfortunate that Asunder was able to go off. I think maybe if Abed commits there, zips through for that one last attack with overcharge, like it could be better. But alas, doesn't matter though. Arteezy, he had died top, but he went Maelstrom first, so he'll be looking to farm up as fast as possible. His BKB timing is everything in this game because PSG.LGD, their physical damage output is relatively limited. Yes, the TB meta could be tough to deal with, but he's a little bit behind, and the Death Prophet Exorcism isn't too fearsome. It'll also allow him to then commit because he has all these heroes with tons of reach. You know, Storm Spirit and Earth Spirit gonna tag team, just dive in onto the support duo. Arteezy with the BKB, he'll just port in as well, pop it, and ensure they can finish a fight with 1 or 2 kills.
Another Ice Blast, another kill on Nothing to Say. This combination between Abed and his 2 supports, they're linking up so beautifully.
Yeah, Earth Spirit, one of the highest damage magic supports as well, and Fly just drops a Vortex and says, hey guys, here's more than a veil of added damage.
Yeah, mixed in with the Ice Blast, so they have a sort of semi-global possibility of ganking. Like Abed can make these really long jumps and have the Ice Blast be set up by the Vortex. It looks good. Evil Geniuses are up by 4,000 net worth, but again, this is a lineup that needs to be able to stay ahead, correct? I mean, they are surely going to get outscaled by PSG.LGD's lineup, right?
Theory, you know, they're once again.
Oh God, Nothing to Say. He cannot survive. Even this time around, he had the 2 supports behind him, but they couldn't stop Abed's damage, so they're going to trade an Earth Spirit for a Death Prophet.
Now the Enchantress.
Like at this point, Death Prophet not that much farther ahead in net worth than this Earth Spirit.
Yeah, Nothing to Say has nothing to do because every time he pokes his head up middle, he just gets wiped off the face of the earth. And you check out Faith Beyond, he's got the right read on the game. He's just Midas, Brown Boots, Soul Ring. Because yeah, you're right. PSG.LGD into the late game, much better scenario. You know, Brew split, TB meta, TPXO. It's going to be a formidable force, but the trouble is right now, they can't do anything. Yeah. They can't kill anyone, and they can't acquire any map control other than farming waves in front of their towers or sending TB illusions out. So maybe it's time to smoke. It looks like that may be the plan.
PSG.LGD have played this Brewmaster once before in iLeague about a month ago, and he did go this Brown Boots into Midas into straight Aghanim Scepter Blink Dagger as his build, and even a refresher with the Aghanim Scepter. This guy knows what this hero's all about. It's the ultimate, and as many primal splits as possible.
Exactly. It gives you the second. It doesn't necessarily increase the uptime. Well, it does, but the replenish time just replaces the cooldown. But it's just, you always have an ult up. That's the theory, and it just means you have to wait longer if you want to take a fight at full strength. But we'll see. BKB is going to be the name of the game. PSG.LGD, they got it queued up. Oh, double smoke by accident. That's very bad for them.
Oh, God.
A bit behind, and they accidentally 2-timed it. They're fighting right on top of an EG ward if they pop on Fly. Looks like that might happen.
They're gonna move around here, down to the low ground. It pops. Immediately the Exorcism is gonna go out. Jin Q trying to catch somebody here, but Crit with a turnaround. Rolls immediately onto the Shadow Shaman, gets off a 2-man silence with the Magnetize. Beautifully set up, but Faith Beyond is here to be able to counteract. Crit looking to be able to roll away. A Thunder goes out from Abed, but he is just dead. This magic damage is too much for him to handle, and that's even before Abed is here. Use the rest of his mana to catch up to Nothing to Say. A bit more for their Electric Vortex. Thank goodness Faith Beyond is there with the Storm, the Cyclone up in the air. That'll deny the Nothing to Say kill, but that's it. That's the only person they could save. 4 dead on the side of LGD.
It is only fitting, Cap. First thing we said at the start of this tournament, control the armor, control the game. Well, things have changed over the last 11 days, and EG have learned the new tweak. It's not the physical armor. It's not the TA you got to worry about. It's actually the magical armor. The early Veil on Crit, the Max Vortex from Fly, they easily turn it around. They also, of course, minus magic resist from the Viper right clicks with Q active. So 3 different methods of reducing the magic damage.
With a Storm Spirit core that naturally outputs a ton of magic damage. Yeah, like, we didn't even get to see Abed really go to work there in that last team fight, but I could see that, like, they build up that magic resistance and he zips in and he just, like, would crush people.
Yeah, and don't forget New Furion ulti as well. A ton of magic damage. At level 2, it'll start at 150 with 10% +5 damage increase per bounce. You've also got Arteezy rushing a Maelstrom. Why would he do that? Well, it's the best farming item, and it's also going to do magic DPS within the engagement. So I thought for sure EG was just going to cut and run, but they got that initiation onto the Shadow Shaman. You saw Faith Beyond went for the Dispel, but it doesn't work. Once Cold Feet has already procced, you can just Dispel it while it's still forming. So a little late on that, and PSG.LGD, they just get surprised. Everybody was there. EG was ready.
to give you an idea of how much damage Wrath of Nature can do, you're talking about level 1 maxing out at around 600 damage. Level 2 gets closer to 800 damage. Those last couple of hits can do an insane amount. You add some magic resistance reduction there.
Top tower is under attack.
It's maybe even more than just pure damage if they have enough of it. Evil Genius is going to be able to find this pick off on Jin Q and turn it into a tier 2. First tier 2 of the game, down by 18 minutes. So look for that outpost to be taken.
Yeah, this is the way to win Dota right now. I love this from EG. I think first game, maybe still a little tired, right? They had to win a BO3. They had to wait for the Wii show to conclude. And they got caught napping in that fight around the tier 1. This time, it's the aggression. It's the fact that they actually have playmaking potential. You know, not like Fly played a poor Clockwork, but I think Crit much more at home on this active roaming position. It's what he's had the most success with so far in his career. And just better lanes too, right?
Yeah.
EG's lanes actually
the
won.
lanes went really well for them this time around. Now, LGD, we talked about this game 1. They have such a strong understanding of timings, right? And being able to know when your lineup has this really nice peak against the enemy lineup. And we've seen them be down under aggressive teams before and just stall the game out until they hit a certain point. What is that turnaround point for LGD? What would that look like as Burger Watch Y? Die again here. Die again here. There it is. Okay, we got it.
They were a little concerned that there might be follow-up with that silence, but they just don't have anything to fear. So you ask, okay, well, what's the turnaround point? Probably the BKBs. Ame's about to finish his. Nothing to say, still a full recipe away.
Jin Q's trying to build one. Of course, that may be
a long time.
Half an hour from now, given the current rate of the game for him.
He's going the cool build, though, where you get a quick blink, but maxed out Hex and Shackles. So the thing that I love about this hero is you represent kill threat with basically any other hero in addition to yourself.
Sure.
It's so much lockdown, you drop wards, you can see him playing with nothing to say. That's what they're looking to do here.
So similar to game 1, where Evil Geniuses got to a point where they're going to try and split push as much as possible, PSG.LGD is going to do something similar here, but this time around, it feels like they actually have real kill threat.
Yeah.
Whereas last time around, we watched Evil Geniuses like smoke to no avail time and time again. It just felt like they couldn't actually reliably get kills. So EG is going to have to be careful and guard their lead well. Otherwise, a pickoff as simple as just being able to catch Abed, say, in the bottom lane could be a massive turnaround for PSG.LGD. Of course, maybe not Abed with the Aegis that he's currently rocking. That would be a little difficult.
And it's all going to be the team fights. Because Faith Beyond, like, it feels weird, but you have to buy Midas just for the XP and to stay engaged, right? The Sand King has a method of just clearing waves. You're going to be able to accelerate your own farm, no problem. Brewmaster just doesn't farm. And you can't with a Terrorblade consistently taking your waves. So he's just going to churn gold over time and eventually have Ags, which makes him a huge teamfight winner. Like, the reason you don't see Brew is because I think you just get enough teamfight from other heroes, but Brewmaster really is the lord of the teamfight. It's going to be a tough game for it. Abed Storm specifically is in a fantastic spot, holding onto the Aegis for another 2.5 minutes. So of course, smoke out, look to get aggressive. We've got so much catch too. Like Crit also, he's got a BKB queued up. That's going to be an awesome item. That's my favorite type of Earth Spirit to play. When you get ahead like this, you can just veil BKB in the middle of a fight, ignore everybody on the side of PSG.LGD.
I've been seeing this a lot in pubs right now. These 4 positions that rush an early BKB, and it just feels like they're unstoppable. They just jump in, pop that BKB, and they're just tanky enough that they can last in a team fight rather than just being sort of the initiator that dies right off the bat.
And Abed is just enormous. He's going to have an Orchid soon, like that decision. He forces BKB by itself if he zips in with Crit. And he'll be able to solo kill both supports for some time. And yeah, just push out bottom. Mjolnir already up on RTZ.
To be fair, is there any downside to going BKB on these cores, though? I feel like just because of the lineup and the magic damage we were talking about, they were always going to go BKB. So
sure, but the problem is, like, specifically on Nothing to Say, like, this is not a performance we'd see from him often. He is just straight up hood BKB. So he's, again, playing for a timing that's now. They need to win a fight now. And if EG get a read on that and just try to slow things down, ensure any 5-on-5 engagement takes place in their territory where they have vision, where they have the high ground, they're out farming every minute.
Yeah.
And it'll really just be
bottom
Ame at the
tower
end of the
is under
day
attack.
that is a real damage threat. Somebody who's actually scaling. Yeah, Faith Beyond, Midas, not terrible, but they're in a rough spot. You can just look at the map control.
Dire's
PSG, they're just
bottom
mirroring,
tower has
they're cutting
fallen.
waves, and they've ceded complete control of their ancient triangle.
Faith Beyond. Perfectly controlled in his split pushing right now,
Radiant's
1100
top
away
tower is
from
under
that
attack.
Aghanim Scepter. And I'm not even sure how good this is gonna feel just because the Orchid on Abed, like, it's nice to have 2 charges, but what if he doesn't even get off the
Yeah.
first one?
That's the thing, it's more time needed. They
Yeah.
need the BKB on him as well. Because he's the real save for the Orchid in a way. Like, Faith Beyond, honestly, you have to play a near flawless brew to get this game. The AoE Dispel on the Storm Panda is actually really underrated.
I'm dead.
No doubt.
I just don't see who he's going to save. The damage is going to come so fast. Fly, you're in trouble.
He is in trouble. He's being chased down right now by a full PSG.LGD squad. Evil geniuses will not turn around and try and save their captain. Watch out, it just make a long TP zip out. Whoa, never mind. Crit actually went in. And he caught
Whoa,
Faith
what?
Beyond him.
What?
Oh, we got to see that one again. I'm presuming maybe he took a little bit of ball lightning damage. They hit him with the ice blast,
Yeah.
and then Crit saw, okay, he's low enough. I can just commit to this.
I was still at Cameron Abed. Yeah, I mean, Crit just crushed him. He didn't even magnetize. That was so much damage. But yeah, you're right. The ice blast hit. I don't know.
They're going to force out that BKB, or at least try to anyway. Nothing to say. He's going to be keeping it under control here. The Bloodstone, it's going to go off, but the damage is coming so fast they get the kill. Abed falls, and a monster kill streak goes to nothing to say. That is 741 gold for him.
Of all the heroes to feed to DP, that is not the move.
And PSG.LGD, they know too. They're going to try and tilt Abed, though I have heard that this man is untiltable. But maybe Emo can claim otherwise.
Yeah, he's still one of the most consistent players in the scene. I wouldn't put that finals on Abed. That was just IG coming through with some new stuff, but questionable. They saw the BKB. They knew he had one. I like the play if he zips back immediately, right? Oh, we
Yeah.
tried to force it. He, kept it disciplined, conserved the cooldown, but he zips into the fog and just boom, the instant hex that Effie was talking about being a concern. And they just blow everything. There's no BKB on Abed. The silence came out from Crit, but nothing to say the Orchid had faded by that point, so he hit with the AoE silence. It was a great ward trap, and they get a kill on maybe not the most important player on EG, because Arteezy's farm is actually pretty huge. He's actually outpacing the Terrorblade. He'll have an AC finished in just 300 gold. And I've heard tell that Prophet kind of not out-carries Terrorblade, but he out-carries him like in this way, in this kind of game. You're ahead, you control the map.
So you just like, if you can stay ahead by, 10,000 net worth, let's say, you can go pretty late
Yeah.
against a TV.
Eventually you're going to buy a Hex. Like, they're going to have tools to kill Terrorblade. He'll have the damage output because PSG.LGD, their lineup is ultimately moving closer and closer to a 4 Protect 1 single core.
Yep.
Yes, the other cores provide a ton of team fight, but they're not going to get their slots finished the same way EG's other 2 cores will.
Right.
And the support duo of EG is definitely going to output more damage. We shall see the brewings of a big fight upcoming.
AC complete. The Rod of Atos is going to come out first, but the Force Staff will defend against the Ice Blast. Ice. Forced down to low ground here to get away. He's going to defend that ward with his life, it seems. Ice. He's going to be caught by the Hex, though. Immediately counter. Initiation there from Abed. Silences up Jin Q. Arteezy looks to finish him off. The Sprout actually blocking him in, but Jin Q, as a man, turns around and shackles up Artur before he finally dies to Crit. Now, PSG.LGD are not quite sure what to do here. They've popped that Brewmaster ultimate. The Primal Split is out.
He has Axe, though. This will be one more if he needs it.
He's got another one to go here. He may try and pop it. If he's going to pop it, he needs to do it now before the jump comes in, and he does. He turns around, immediately stuns up Crit. Here comes, nothing to say, blocking out Crit, not allowing him to be able to roll away. They want the kill on the support because that's all they can get right now. BKB used by Ame and even fearfully popping this. Oh no, that Sunder just lied to nothing to say. He's dead.
Another time, another no BKB. Abed's gonna go for more Faith Beyond. He will be able to TP away, no interrupt nearby, but I feel like I've seen Ame do that before in both this tournament and previous ones. I don't blame him. He's playing somewhat selfishly. He didn't have BKB, but yeah, nothing to say. You gotta be cautious. He had vision, which is what's weird. Like, he had vision of that high ground and just charged up it. If he BKBs there, that's a sick play. Abed was real low on mana. Maybe you can turn that around. Full health meta TB behind you.
Yeah.
But uncharacteristic, and EG hold on to their lead.
Ame with the betrayal on nothing to say will keep farming. He's trying to win this game solo, it seems. Has 17,000 net worth. Is only 1,500 behind RTZ, who is going to be going for an Eon Disc. So once again, we're going to be seeing that item put to use as the game goes late to make sure there's no freebie pickoffs.
Yeah, it's somewhat necessary because he fears the roster. That's the 100-0 that could take him down. This would allow him to cleanse into the immediate BKB. So team fights could be troublesome, but it means he can split push a lot safer. They don't have any BKB TP interrupt.
Going through some of the potential items that have been picked up or will be picked up, and I have to say that Aghanim Scepter is probably the most exciting one for the Storm Spirit. Pulling them into both the Earth Spirit and Ancient Apparition AoEs, that sounds pretty good to me.
And they gave that first shard, though, to RTZ. The Sprout making greater treants. It used to be broken. The first couple weeks with that addition were really silly. And I just saw greater treants killing Raxes by themselves, but still effective, and it'll help him farm faster and keep lanes shoved. You can see the EG MO right now. The 3 cores slowly grinding out a net worth lead. RTZ keeping tabs on Ame, and the other cores on the side of PSG.LGD, they're kind of drifting further and further behind. They have their items online, they want to fight. But if they can't fight, well, they're just kind of running in circles.
Yeah. I will say that I think Faith Beyond is going to be kind of okay because he's just a primal split most of the time anyway, but I'm really concerned about Nothing to Say's net worth drifting lower and lower down the list here as now he's behind Ice on the Viper.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I want to talk about this Viper build a little bit because was it you that we were talking about Cuckoo's Viper, how he built up a damage build? Maybe it was Curtis, but going to be going for like more of the utility style Viper to start things off with the Rod of Atos and the Urn rather than the Dragonlance Treads build.
I don't mind it. Oh, he has no... Is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead. His blast is coming in hot, or maybe cold, and that will be the death of Faith Beyond. 26-13 now in Game 2 of this Best of 5. Evil Geniuses looking to even out the series.
He's got a shard on ice, too. Now poison attack affecting buildings, reducing its armor by 1 per stack.
So now they like, that is very clear. You only get that pickup really when you want to go high ground. So,
but it also gives you an increase on max stacks, so it's even more potential minus magic resistance as well. That's pretty cool. That's for hero damage. So yeah, the Storm AA output is actually going to be kind of crazy now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dagon's picked up. But the high ground against PSG.LGD, this is real tough. To your point about the build, yeah, I think that the Force Staff was just needed. I also really like that they got one early on the side of PSG.LGD because you need it to avoid that deadly Atos, Nether Tops, and Ice Blast combination. The Force Away will save somebody. And yeah, they're actually going to get one onto Ame as well because he realizes more forces are going to be necessary.
Okay, just keep building it up.
And this is a cool read as well. Again, going back to the AA, if you remember the 3-time Leshrac from PSG.LGD yesterday, it was all about the spell lifesteal, the healing amplification. Well, AA removes that, and you notice Nothing to Say. He didn't change his build. Hood, a BKB, but he's now going for the Sanj Kaya. So again, playing around that self-regen amplification, but it won't be effective if he gets blasted. It won't be as effective if he gets hit by, say, a Viper with Scotty, which is, of course, going to be Ice's next item.
Yeah, the way you put that, it really makes it seem like this Ancient Apparition and just this heavy amount of magic damage in general seems to be a good game plan for Evil Geniuses against what PSG.LGD has done the best with. Now they are high band smoked across. Ice is going to go for that one extra creep wave TP out, but he's caught. Q. Great blink in, hex by him. And the first big pickoff we've seen in a minute here for PSG.LGD. Unfortunately, they can't really take much map control off of that because these damn treants are everywhere. It's like an infestation. PSG.LGD I'm going to try and deal with that as best as possible.
Really nice comment.
Or does manage to find Jin Q. Going to go for the fast Shadow Shaman kill. They do manage to get again. The cleanse coming out from that purge, but sadly Jin Q is low enough that he dies to the right click of RTZ. RTZ actually caught a bit of damage here. They try to force step him up into the base here. They know he's got an Aegis, so they can't overcommit for this kill. They're going to go for it now. All right, that's going to be one. Ame setting up around the second line here. So's the rest of the team. They're going to go for RTZ almost immediately. Artur trying to deal with this one. The Eon Disc going off. Slowed down by the Scotty. Ame, they're trying to force staff through the trees and will manage to kill RTZ. Looking for more now. Force staff up. Faith Beyond. Ooh, a little bit too late to get that disable out. Still, though, managing to kill Ice during the pickoff, and then Evil Genius is getting a little bit too aggressive, loses their carry in RTZ. We're back down to a 9,000 net worth lead only for EG. They cannot afford too many of those mistakes, Kyle.
No, they can't, and it's just uncharacteristic. Like, if you're going to commit for the Rasta kill, get it. Finish the kill, commit early. But they took this sort of delayed team fight. They'd used all of Storm's mana pool and Ice Blast, and then they were looking to commit later into the fight.
They are not respecting this Scotty. Thankfully, the double force staff got the wrong angle, and Ame ended up on the low ground rather than on the high ground where he could have maybe chased down Crit some more.
It's getting dangerous, EG.
Yeah.
Gotta chill a bit. I like the aggression, but I just want them to do it as a unit. Like, be strong. And if you're gonna make that kind of play, I would love it. You know, Abed, he's got the Aeon Disc. I kind of wish if they were gonna play it in this manner that they had just bought BKB. Like, you look at the net worth lead. Yes, it's 9K, but you got to keep in mind how much money has been spent on these Eons.
It feels like they were overly focusing on the pickoff potential, and as a result, sacrificed some of their team fight potential.
Yeah, exactly, because that's a lot of dead gold now on both Arteezy and Abed. Your top two net worth cores have spent a lot of money on an item that just saves them from a pickoff. And yeah, it could be useful in a team fight, but you saw how well Artur served him in that fight.
Sure, yeah.
Like, it's not really a lead. And Ame's Terrorblade, this is the hyper carry. This will utilize net worth better than any other hero in the game. Going for the Swift Blink, actually a big fan, because positioning is going to win the war here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if he can spend more time getting in the face of evil geniuses and right-clicking and less time trying to chase after heroes, it's going to feel mighty nice for PSG.LGD. This is a big difference between Game 1. There was a lot of similarities in the first 15 minutes, but Game 1, to be honest, EG, I feel like they had zero chance. Even if they pushed the game another 10-15 minutes, it felt like their lineup wouldn't be able to compete. But we know PSG.LGD's, this Terrorblade, it can work.
This has been the story of the tournament for PSG.LGD. When they win, it's dominant. When they lose, it's a grind.
Yeah.
Like, there is no just 20-3 walkover. They make you earn it. You're going to need to grind, like, 3 Roches, 4 Roches. Your item decisions have to be on point. You don't get the free team fight. They're not going to just lose a core here, lose a core there. Oh, guess who won? Take the base. They make you beat them 5-on-5, oftentimes more like 5-on-8, because they'll have the buybacks ready. In this case, now Bots on the Death Prophet. He will not have a buyback for now. Ame has his. Faith Beyond has the Aghanims. Oh, love it. He has the locked Vitality booster, so he can assemble Eon if necessary. Refresh our next item, and the Ceremonial Robes, Earth Spirit will carry that aura. Minus magic damage, magic resistance, and status resistance. And 1200 AoE, very effective.
You know, they keep on Arteezy even risking a few hits himself with the double Siege Wagon push. This tier 3 may end up being the first to fall here. PSG.LGD. All right, they're here in force. Evil Geniuses will back up. They're immediately going to smoke on PSG.LGD here. With the Wrath of Nature used and Roshan
not spawning, but it could have. So they have to get out there.
Yeah,
it was a long spawn.
They got to get some control of the map. They got to get some wards down. Hopefully they get a pick off with this. That's what they're hoping, but they're not going to find it. Arteezy, he teleported to top, and now he's at bottom.
He's going all in for the right click.
Any chance they keep this going, that they keep wrapping through and through and through. They check the Roshan pit just to see if it was an early spawn. It's not. It's a late one. It's going to be another 2 minutes. And if they don't show soon, Evil Geniuses will hit that high ground again. And they're going to force PSG.LGD to mass TP back. It's going to be too late. Tier 3 is definitely dead. Arteezy going to keep it going here, but immediately the blink in from Ame. He's going for Arteezy here. The Eon Disc, the 4 snaps are trying to get Artur out of here. Turns around, BKB activated, goes Satanic as much as possible. The Ice Blast is going to win. The roll on in from Crit is trying to stall out the damage of the Terror Blade, but it overwhelms Arteezy. And look at the suck. Nothing to say. Managing to take on 3 members of Evil Geniuses at one time. 2 of them die. Abed locks him in, but the Hex, is that going to be enough? They turn around, trying to finish off Ame. He's pumping out the damage. Abed, he doesn't get him. The Orchid does, though. They weren't able to dispel that one. They get Ame. What a disaster it would have been for Evil Geniuses if they couldn't get that one carry. They trade 4, though, for the 3, excuse me, of PSG.LGD.
You did get a buyback on the Enchantress, but man, like the killer instinct from PSG.LGD. Ame just goes, looks forward, meta, BKB, attack. And Artur, he has no hope but to turn and fight. Unfortunately, it just didn't look like they were ready. You saw Fly just kind of threw up the Ice Blast in a panic, whiffed everybody, and that gave nothing to say. The freedom to do exactly what he's doing on your screen. Just everywhere. Kills the Viper by himself, full HP. If he's not Ice Blasted, he fears nothing.
God, look at this reaction from Jinkyu. Turns around somehow, barely outside of that vortex. Oh my God, that was so close. If he gets pulled, those 3 are dead. They're all dead. Abed lives, very likely. Crit might be able to get out. Crit probably dies anyway.
Yeah,
but
had a
Abed
cheese.
is gonna live.
He had a cheese and wasn't able to use it. He was full CC'd.
You're talking about like 50 range, like the smallest margin on that hole of the vortex. He catches Jinkyu. It potentially would have been a huge loss for PSG.LGD. Instead, it's a huge win. Once again, back to that 9,000 net worth lead for Evil Geniuses, but the game is stalling out, Kyle. This net worth lead is not the same as it was 15 minutes ago, right?
No, it's not. No, it is not at all. And suddenly it actually feels like PSG.LGD are taking control of the game. This Roche pit will be where the battleground is marked. We're all moving forwards. No refresher yet on Faithman, but he has a buyback, so will happily be the one to be initiated upon.
It's an opportunity. Evil Geniuses a return to being able to control this game.
Force the Aeon. That's
or
big.
a chance for PSG.LGD to break EG. It all happens around this Roshan Disc. Eon Disc is going to be popped on Faith Beyond, so won't be able to play that frontline game again.
You got to be careful now because the Shadow Shaman has a BKB.
Yeah.
This is where things get a little scary.
Look at that flicker. I'm surprised nobody's taking that just because the Dispel would be really nice to have for even just a support against Abed's Orchid. Another Dispel, this time for Stormcrafter for Ice. Or at least he finds that, rather.
EG, they have an advantage in the pit, though, because they have these tools requiring vision. Vortexes are going to start appearing everywhere.
They're going to jump in. All right. They pop so many ultimates here. Evil Geniuses, if they can cleanly back away, it's okay, but they do have to stay around the pit somehow because Ame, he's putting out the damage pretty fast. The Ice Blast is going to be able to spot it. Here comes Ame. Can he pick it out again? He gets it. He gets the Roshan, he gets the Aegis, and he gets out. Evil Geniuses rolling on in with Crit. He's not going to let him get away so easily, but the block from Y, it allows the Terror Blade to be able to take up and turn around with the Sunder, and they kill Crit. Arteezy, man fighting right now against Jinkyu. Nothing to say, but now Ame is joining the fight. And now that is a fight that Arteezy cannot win. This is a fight that Abed may be caught in. Ice get it swept up on. Abed dropped down to the ground. Goes for Jinkyu. Has the Orchid on him. A nice pull. Managed to catch the other support as well. Pops the cheese. Trying to get back up. He has the Aegis, so he can still play this one out. Waiting for the second lines of Arteezy. He's going to be coming in. Abed backing up here. They're not going to keep chasing after LGD because they know they do not have the numbers for it. Ice dead for 60 seconds. They may have gotten barely a victory inside of the Roshan pit by grabbing the Aegis, but ultimately, Kyle, it doesn't feel that good for EG.
No, not at all. I mean, Abed is playing out of his mind. He got thrown down from the tornado and had the immediate Orchid pre-Hex. Otherwise, he just dies to Jinkyu. Amazing plays by Faith Beyond. He basically wins this fight. Ame, once again, forces EG into a move. They somewhat panic. Crit just kind of rolls forward, and now he's alone because Abed has already got what he came for and zipped out. Crit continues to pursue. Fly is way out of position. He's in the river for some reason, so he dies. Crit chasing a Terrorblade alone up the high ground. Now he's dead, so it's suddenly a 3-on-5. You see RTZ, again, no choice but to man fight. The blink from Ame playing huge dividends as he just gets perfect positioning, but the support duo of EG have got to just chill out. They have got to relax. PSG.LGDs, they're getting all these spells of watch here. Abed's going to come down, immediate the Orchid. Otherwise, he's dead 100%. Tries to go in, gets a 3-man pull. He's literally doing everything that he can, but there's just no damage, and Ame is killing everyone. Everyone.
Yeah, this Nature's Prophet, it just cannot hold a flicker of a flame to the bright burning bonfire that is Ame's carry Terrorblade right now. He is just destroying these team fights.
Yeah, and I agree with RTZ's decision. He has a Rapier queued up because in this item build, he forgot that he actually had to deal damage. And Eon Disc and a Satanic, it's cool, but he's dying with Satanic active.
Yeah.
It's the regen reduction. The Shivas plus the Scotty, yeah, that item's worthless, Artur. It's like 30% effective, and you don't do any damage, especially to a Terrorblade.
Here comes another one. Ice. I believe he used his buyback on that last one, so he is going to be dead for a while. 80 seconds with no buy available. LGD are going to start taking objectives. LGD are going to force more mistakes out of Evil Geniuses.
I don't
know how you come back from this one, man. EG, if you were going to win this game, you had a huge lead 20 minutes ago. It has dwindled away. It's a level 25 on your Death Prophet. Rewards get dropped. And that's a meta TB. They're just pushing.
Yep.
He's level 25.
Abed. He's going to have to do some of those zipping shenanigans. He's got to watch out for Shin Q, though. You could see him lying in wait in the trees, ready for his opportunity to be able to blink Hex. Meanwhile, the buildings are falling fast, and EG can do nothing to stop it.
Middle barracks are under attack.
He kills the creep wave. But ultimately, LGD got what they came for.
They're just so composed, Cap. Like I said, they make you beat them, and EG just haven't played clean enough. With this huge lead, it doesn't feel like they've got a single engagement on their terms. They found pickoffs, but every team fight, somehow, even with a huge disadvantage, it was PSG.LGD kind of forcing the action.
Sure.
When Ame commits, they all go. EG discombobulated. They've lost their lead. Now the 9K advantage rests for their opposition. PSG.LGD looking dominant, a game up in the series, and at this rate, soon to be 2.
Look at the buildup from Abed. He got the shard. He recognizes that his other cores are not putting out enough damage. So he's going to give them a little bit of helping hand and give them some overload charges to work with, and then finish up his BKB. Meanwhile, Refresher, Terrorblade, Refresher on Death Prophet, Refresher on Brewmaster. 3 cores that are ultimate dependent and making sure that they can always fight. So cool from LGD.
It really is. And Ame, he has 4,000 health, a Satanic, a BKB, the Refresher that you mentioned, and a 6-second cooldown on Sunday. Like, EG, they're lacking damage. Like, that's the issue with the whole draft now. It was great, the stacking magic resist. It's like, whoa, they're killing everything. People explode. Well, we're too late in the game now. It's a cute combination, but who's actually going to right-click your way home? PSG, they're just going to walk up high ground and pop their spells. They have even the Wolf Creep, thanks to Enchantress.
There's been a net worth lead for Evil Geniuses the entirety of the game, but now it's LGD, 9K up, all in. Evil Geniuses with a Divine Rapier. RTZ jumping into the back. They're going for Ame right away, but the damage, it is pitiful. RTZ, he now needs to be able to find a way out of here. Their Glimmer Cape, they don't have anything. He's just going to die. He's feeding away the Rapier.
He has no buyback.
He has no buyback. Evil Geniuses. That's it for them in game 2. It's looking like, unless the 4 of them can do something without their carry the pull in. Whoa! What was that? BKB's activated. Immediately a buyback coming out from Ame. He still has that Refresher to work with, so he's going to be joining his team. Boots are traveling in.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
He needs the BKB. We've just witnessed the magical burst from EG. It's still there.
Pops a meta, respecting Evil Geniuses in their magic damage, keeping his distance. Another Ice Blast, but pops a BKB. He's going for the throne, and he's going to ignore Evil Geniuses' magic damage. He will ignore.